你好吗？我是你的美国朋友 Tom。我的 Chinese visa， 我的 Chinese visa 很好，我很高兴。
Okay, Tommy, tell us about your experience about applying for the Chinese visa.
So the experience for me to get the Chinese visa, it was sort of a long process at first when I went through a travel broker who, in my opinion, they weren't very good. The first travel broker we used, they charged us $400 and they said that if I filled out all the paperwork, they would send it in to the US government, to the Chinese embassy, and get me a visa. But then after about a month, I sent them my passport, I sent them my information, I filled out the KOVA forms correctly, and they said, sorry, the embassy must have been having a bad day. And they sent me back my passport and they kept half of the money. The second broker we used was called Travel Visa Pro, and they helped me get the Chinese visa in 1 month. I sent it in May 2024, and by June 24th, 2024, I had my Chinese visa. In my situation, I don't have anything unusual when I fill out my form. Like, I'm a teacher, I'm just a regular citizen, I'm not in like an army or anything like that. So for me, and also my wife is a Chinese citizen, so I think I applied for Q2 family visitation visa, Q2. But for most people, I think if you go through Travel Visa Pro, it was only $316 total. You send in your passport, they send you a pre-printed postage, so you can mail it to the right people. It takes about a month, and then they send you back your passport, and then inside the passport they put the Chinese visa stamp. So it's pretty cool. It has the Great Wall of China on it, and it's very exciting just to see that I'm accepted into China and that I'm welcome there, because a lot of people were like, oh, they won't give Americans visas right now, it's not welcoming to Americans. But if you fill out the paperwork and pay the $316, you will be welcome there, as long as you don't have any like unusual circumstances. Like if you're working for like the US government, like CIA or FBI, they might put you through a harder analysis than just someone who's a teacher or has a regular career that's not with the US government. So overall, pretty easy. The Travel Visa Pro people, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. They helped me a lot to get this visa.
Okay, so when you were using the first agency, how many times did you have to fill in the online KOVA form, and how did you feel about it?
So the KOVA form, that for being a developed country, the KOVA Forms website is not very advanced technologically. Like, it looks like it was programmed like 15 years ago. If you make one mistake on the KOVA form, you have to redo all 5 pages of the KOVA form. So for the first one, I wrote down what state I lived in, but I didn't write United States of America at the end. So I had to redo the whole form just because I didn't say like Utah, United States of America, or Missouri, United States of America. And then also the second time I filled it out, I had, my middle name was on my passport, but I just put my middle initial. I put like the letter J for my middle initial, but I didn't put the full middle name. And they didn't even ask for middle name. It just said first name, last name. And I wrote my first name and my last name like it asked. And then they sent it back and they said, where's your middle name? But they didn't even have a space for middle name. So there's sometimes with the first broker, it just seemed like there was a lot of redoing the form, even though they had my driver's license and my passport. They know what my name is. Why should I have to fill it out so many times? That's how I thought about it. Like, you know who I am. I gave you all my documentation, but they still were like nitpicky about every little detail.
Okay, so when you were using the second agency, which is Travel Visa Pro, did you have to fill in the KOVA form by yourself?
No, actually with Travel Visa Pro, I sent in just my information one time. I didn't have to put it in on every single page. I just told them my name, my address, my career, the reason for my visit, where I was staying in my visit, my passport number. You have to have a valid US passport. That's the main thing. Once you get a passport, you just take the information from your passport and put it into the form, and Travel Visa Pro will do all the work for you.
Okay. Is it the first time that you get a visa in your life?
Yes, so I've only been to 2 other countries besides the United States. I've been to Canada and I've been to Mexico. And because the US passport is so powerful, we can just go to those places with a passport. We don't need visas. But because of the relationship between the US and China now, I don't know how long it's been like this, but everyone needs a visa to go to China. So this is my first visa that I've ever had to get for another country.
Okay, thank you. So why you guys didn't go to China this summer?
Oh, because so we had a newborn child, and newborn childs also need travel documents. I'm not sure exactly if they need a passport or a travel ID or a visa, but it was just, our son was born in March and we needed to travel by June. We needed to get a lot of paperwork done, and the first travel broker we used, I'm not going to say her name, she's out of Salt Lake City, but she was just taking too long with the paperwork. She didn't even help us get our visa, and so it kind of ruined our hopes for traveling this summer. But with the new people we use, Travel Visa Pro, took 1 month, and so now we're planning on next summer for our trip to China.
Okay, so which cities are you guys planning to go in China next year?
Oh, so the first, I really want to stop in Japan first. And then after we stop in Japan, I want to go to Beijing and Binzhou. I want to see Shandong province, and I want to see Beijing. I want to see Forbidden City, Great Wall. I want to see, I think it's called Qingchong. Qingchong?
You mean Qingdao? No, don't say Qingchong. It's not Qingchong.
No.
What is the Qingchong? Where is the Qingchong word from? You mean Qingdao?
CHI.
Chongqing? You mean Chongqing?
Chongqing, yes. I want to see Chongqing. Very advanced.
Chongqing, not Qingchong.
I want to see Chongqing, not Qingchong. Chongqing. I want to see how developed that city is. I heard it's a very advanced city with like very good trains. I want to see Beijing. I want to see Shanghai. I want to see, if we have time, I want to see Hong Kong and Macau too, but mostly just mainland China. I want to see like Beijing, Binzhou, Shandong province, Chongqing, Shanghai.
Okay, so who will go with you together next summer?
我的老婆是中国人。我的老婆中国人。Yes, my wife and my son.
Who? Oh, okay, so your wife, your son, and you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I want to meet my wife's family, who's Chinese. So just to wrap it up and summarize, if you're an American and you don't have like a really like secret job that works for military or the government, and you just have a regular job, you can get this visa in about 1 month's time, as long as you have a valid passport. So get your Chinese visas. It's good for 10 years. And my stay is 180 days. So each time I go to China, I can stay for 180 days. And the goal is that we'll visit my wife's family and maybe one day buy property in China so we can have a place to stay when we go there. But yeah, I'm really excited to go to China, and I can't wait to see all the food. The Yangrou, the Jiro, the Nero, Szechuan, Pat Huoguo, Chao Fan, fried rice, Han Hao, lamb skewer, Yangrou char, Washiwan Yangrou char, Washiwan Great Wall. So our next step with this whole travel process, my wife, she's a Chinese citizen, so she's good to go, but we need to get our son, TJ, his travel documents so he can go see his Chinese grandparents and his Chinese aunts and uncles, all his family in China. So hopefully it's easy to get a baby passport. He's only 3.5 months old right now, so hopefully he can get travel documents filled out and they let little TJ into China too.